phase through it, but I feel like either the wall is going to stop him from engaging, in
or
which
it's going to
case,
do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. There's great wall angles, or it's a completely useless spell. So we'll be Anivia mid lane. You know,
We have a gank.
we have a gank top side. Wunder very quickly running away from the Scorpion, but a flash in from SkewMond, definitely nice. The axe to come through the undertow. Wunder nowhere to go. First blood for G2. You said action on the top side. We're seeing it now, and now Skeanz is going to try to 2v1. That was not good, my guy.
I mean, Labrov is going to die if they go for it, but if they can kill Yopa, it's worth.
Taunt through, doesn't quite get the flash. Knockback is there. Labrov is going to die, but oh, so is Mickey. Hansama debating.
From Prison Mind. Oh, doesn't go for it.
Through.
He was thinking about it, but I think he needed 4 auto attacks to kill Yopa. It's 3 or 4. If he could kill him in 2, then he could just do auto attack W, insta reset, right? And then flash out, but decided not to go for it. Ends up being a 1-for-1. And Yopa had to base before Hansama crashed the wave, so that does mean that Yopa is going to lose out on a minion wave. But now SkewMond is behind Wunder. Wunder still no flash.
Sure. To the skies. Remember, blow back. Trying to buy time for the rest of the team to get there. Keep your eyes on that mini-map. Jungle with support on the way. Mickey and Skeanz trying to come in, as is Labrov. Full 3v3, but SK behind the play thus far. Wunder going to die before the play even starts. Now Skeanz and Mickey, just spectators to their top laner's demise. And this is going from uncomfortable to bad quite quickly, Jack.
I feel like Wunder could have lived. Like, he could have just paths to the right with the Storm Raider Surge proc, but instead, I think he thought that if he buys enough time, Skeanz and Mickey can come, but...
And they did
just
come, in time. And the wall has been leveraged. Caps cannot get around it, but the gravity field is good too. Skeanz warp hopping forward. Sonic Wave connects. Caps still getting the Scuttle Crab movement speed, trying to get tricky with it. Mickey moving into cover to make sure Skeanz can get this kill. No way for Labrov to contest. And that's Skeanz getting one back.
Really nice gank from Skeanz there. Caps flashed the initial Q from Skeanz, but wasn't able to get out. SkewMond could look for a dive on top. I think they should have the damage. Wunder does have flash though. If he's able to flash like a crucial CC and buy time, well, he already cleared most of the wave.
Oh, axe missing is big. Getting a chunk on BrokenBlade as well.
Really good defensive moves there from Wunder. Denies any sense of a dive. If he wasn't able to clear the wave and the wave got under tower, easily SkewMond and BrokenBlade could just one-shot him there, but burn his flash just for that. Well, all of SK's support and jungle are here to help cover for Wunder. SkewMond's in the area though, so should dissuade any sort of dive possibility for SK. But BrokenBlade needs to be careful. He dies very fast here.
He does. The Q lands from Skeanz. BrokenBlade is a dead man. Even the Skarner can't get here in time. Nice conversion coming in from BrokenBlade. Body block there. Wunder going to finish it with a thundering blow. But the Heartsteel is there for SkewMond to make sure he gets one in return. Slow Q has TP. Are doing their job. Partially because Wunder doesn't do a ton of damage yet, but also Hansama didn't get hit by that Chalk Blast, so I'd say mission accomplished.
Yopa needs to be careful.
Lock up. Hansama, good damage to come through. Nice satchel to try and escape. Both Yop and Hansama really low, but on the hunt and the heal. More than enough movement speed. Good burst damage coming through, but that flash not doing much of anything as the Stand United ensures that there's no follow-up angle for Skeanz. And SkewMond in the meantime gets the Drake, so really...
As now Caps might be in trouble. TP.
Well played. Caps locked up. Slowq's still standing in the storm, and Labrov is on the way. And Slowq needs to be careful here. He's going to get egged, but he will not go down. Caps finally drops. Mickey debating if they can follow up. A nice little counter punch there to give Slowq a bit of an edge in that 1v1 matchup, but it's a quick TP from BrokenBlade just to ensure that SK can't get much else.
Especially like once Hansama gets 4 items, that's when this becomes a really nice Sivir game. The only thing is Hansama is pretty reliant on his front line to create space for him since he's up against so many long-range carries. As Caps is not on the tower.
Slowq and Mickey holding hands through this entire game, and Caps cannot make it out of the Glacial Storm, so will finally fall. Now that Roa started stacking up and there's a bit more AP, a bit more... he'd be tied, but he kept missing playoffs there for a little while. Jankos, Wunder, so many people on that list, so many legendary names. That's part of the reason why we always talk about the history of these teams. Sometimes over the present, that Cloud Drake.
Yeah, G2 are dropping it. They're pushing in top. They want to maybe try to go for more. They're going to get the tier 1, but I don't think they can get the tier 2. Just get a deep push on BrokenBlade. I think SK can be pretty happy with this, especially with the fact that they got Hansama's flash as well. So now with Nash up and available, if they're able to get a good insect from Skeanz or get a good wall from Slowq and take Hansama down, they could easily start the Nash, as now Yopa gets the mid tower.
I don't remember most of them, but I know it's happened at least once.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It's now Skeanz lurking, waiting in the darkness. Wunder versus Caps. Brothers fighting. Stand United up and available. Leeson getting pounded into the wall. Taunt blast coming in for Labrov. Wunder taken out. They were trying to bully Caps, but this time his boys were there. There's no... Very tame, very controlled game. Mickey Skeanz, the playmakers now for SK in this game state, is Wunder sent them to the top side to try to hold the wave. 5 members of G2 on the bottom side of the map. Taunting through now is Labrov. A bit premature to kick things off. A nice wall to block off Hansama, but not quite perfect positioning. Ulti goes completely wide from Yappa, and now there's a raging Viking standing behind him. Gonna start ripping through his health bar. He just wanted to have a pool party, but it's absolutely not happening. BrokenBlade, another wall to delay the push, but G2 with a nice quick fight to ensure their control over this Drake.
And BrokenBlade, he came out of nowhere with a steel chair. Takes down Yoppa. Yoppa tries to flash.
There is enough damage now for Caps' ulti to get those quick resets. Skeanz not super tanky right now, working towards the Death Dance. Might help a bit, but we just went from 1,000, about 2,000 gold lead from a couple side lane players from G2 to 4,000 in their favor and match Drakes. Mickey trying to swing things back a little bit, at least punish Labrov, but Anivia, not the best follow-up champion in the extended play, however, it might be enough. One more staggering blow and another second here, waiting on that cooldown. Wunder on the way in. Labrov will finally fall.
A slow death.
It's a slow game. They have time. They have the bandwidth, the resources. Wunder gonna have to flash over this wall. Nice angle coming in from SkewMond. BrokenBlade might have an axe to kick this one off, but he does have an ulti. The chase now coming in. Mickey, a dead man walking, quick ulti flash to try to make it over the wall, distracting Hansama as he cues out. Spider Knot, praying for a brand new day. There's not gonna happen though. He's about to die. G2 keeping the fight going. Good ulti across the top, but again, only connecting on Labrov. In goes Skeanz, his body, telling him yes, his mind, telling him yes, but now he's gonna be saying hell no, because it's Caps on the flank. 0-3-0, but still getting in there to make the play happen. Now all the way up to 3-3-1. As SK falling apart.
And SK, they got away. I don't think they'll lose the Nash just yet, but G2 are in firm control of this game. So they're able to take down 2. Maybe they will go for the Nash after all. Slowq doesn't have TP. Yoppa has his. But this Nash actually goes down pretty damn fast.
Just
and then BB does the rest, I think. Especially with Caps, if he can provide a little bit of damage as well. I mean, the one thing that SK
That's
does
a 4-item Sivers.
I mean, he's gonna do a lot, but he doesn't need to do a lot.
He doesn't need to. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it can be the BrokenBlade show.
It can be.
Well, then, SkewMond is pretty unkillable. So it's tough for SK. They can clear the waves, they can kill the minions, but killing G2's front line is tough. Luckily, G2's front line is not here. BrokenBlade going to try to 1v5. Hansama pushed hard. It might not be enough though. BrokenBlade still living. Gets burnt to a crisp by the Ignite. As Skeanz is going right back in. The front line has finally arrived, but it might be too little too late. Now, that said, SkewMond is officially unkillable. Let's see how long it takes. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. The 80 damage is here. Will it be enough? Yes, it will be. SkewMond will finally fall. Physical damage there for the side of SK to finish up that kill.
And it's a pretty big throw from G2, as SK should be able to pick up this dragon now as well and set themselves on soul point. Although Hansama and Labrov want to look for the cheese. Skeanz face checks.
Quick taunt, hop back to Mickey. Getting low, does have access to the GA. Hansama could be in trouble. Nice hook to interrupt with a GA proc. That's devastating. Labrov now looking for the angle and the setup. Yappa on the way and flashback from Skeanz. Sonic Wave connects. Resonating strike ready to come through. Good hook from Mickey. Down goes Labrov, and now it's Hansama trapped in the pit. A 1v1 with the dragon. Ziggs ulti across the top, burning his bell shield. Now Hansama's forced to flash away as Caps continues to poke. Mickey's still going forward. No one is here to back him up. It's a one-way trip, but he's happy to take someone with him as SK continue to set their sights on the Cloud Drake. G2 might have gotten that in him in the top lane, but they lost a ton in the process.
It's a huge play for SK. It's 4-4-1. Disastrous. A lot of shutdowns giving across the board.
SK trying to find a way to get in here, but don't have great vision coverage. Maybe just hoping for the 50-50, but now SkewMond coming over the wall, locking up Slowq. A nice W from Caps to split the fight in the meantime, as double TPs are now coming in. Arriving in the fight is BrokenBlade, but at low health, his Skeanz isn't quite sure if he wants that play. Ulti from Yoppa, not great. Only hitting the edge onto Caps, and both sides walking away a bit bruised. And I think you're getting close to seeing the ideal SK team fight there, but because Mickey went so deep, you see both the Glacial Storm and the Minefield used in a choke point. The G2 just booked, from Mickey is going a bit wide as Slowq tries to land some poke of his own. BrokenBlade kicking things off, eating a ton of damage before the fight kicks off. They're going to try to burst through that health bar. Ulti across the entire team. Again, not hitting onto key members of G2, however. Mickey's ulti, the depth charge, connects on the Caps with the fall damage in there. Now Wunder's just going to burn to death. The Knight's Vow comes in, but it's just too little. It's not nearly enough as G2 walk down Wunder. And SK looking a little bit dizzy in these fights.
But how did G2 do it? They're magicians. This fight looked so bad in the beginning. BrokenBlade was just going in and dying. Yet the fight somehow turns again into a 1-for-0 for them as Mickey hooks in.
He hooks in and maybe sent just right back to the fountain. SkewMond debating if he wants to keep dashing forward. Taunt flash comes in for Labrov. flash back from Slowkey was good, but it's Skeanz who's gotten the Maws of G2. A G8 procced. Gonna come right back to life just to die once again. Hansama taking down Skeanz. Not the explosive 5v5 we were expecting, but a very G2 favored one as they pretty effortlessly cut through all of SK.
G2 just make magic happen back to back as they find the fight that they were looking for, and now they're gonna pick up another Nasher. And already with an open inhibitor in top, they can look to get triple inhibitor and secure themselves positions for Soul. He doesn't have now going into this Nash defense.
Yeah, and one of the big things we talked about was the poke of this SK comp, but it really hasn't worked out too well, and you can see when they walk into close range, again, Caps, who started the game pretty far behind, essentially one-tapped Wunder. Q, auto, death ray, ulti across the dot. Wunder's immediately dies. Now, if he gets to start with poke, he might be able to one-shot Caps as well, but Caps has the Zanyas, Caps has the front line, so much of SK's all-in just is pretty meaningless. As you can see, that's like an auto and a half. Mickey already losing half of his HP, even through the Celestial opposition. But again, we have a Ziggs and we have an Anivia. So if there's anything we will have, it is a decent amount of game time as Yopa finally connecting on a key target with that ulti. BrokenBlade.
I think like 5 HP with the death stance. He just barely lives there. That could have been the comeback that SK needed to make a fight happen. BrokenBlade, he doesn't have the teleport at least, so he's still going to be out of the fray, but SK used too many tools. They can't make an engage happen. That's 2 inhibitors for G2, and they can recall now and set up bot side and play again, or they can just rotate straight to bot and continue playing the Nash. They're going to take the recall.
Yep, slow, steady, controlled, 90 seconds until Cloud Soul. But you have a 6,000 gold lead and a full build Sivir.
Someone TP towards top side here. I think he wants to go for the red buff. I thought they would just siege bot lane and open up the third inhibitor, but they want to kill
the
Slowkey.
bird. Cap chasing, and if they kill Slowkey, they probably just end the game here. There's nowhere for him to go. Gets egged, now will die as well. Ulti from Yopa not dealing nearly enough damage as SK are being zoned away from their own fountain. Minion empowered melee creeps and caster is going to be enough here for G2 to break open the base of SK. Wunder going for the 1v1 with BrokenBlade. Labrov interrupts, but I don't think he would have won it anyway. Skeanz desperately trying to hold the line, but despite their best efforts, SK picked apart in the mid and late game. G2 outscaling and outplaying in this game 1.
And it was a nice attempt by SK. They held on. If he finds a roam timer, it's so incredibly strong. And if you get a lead, the snowball potential of this champion is just probably the highest out of any meta champion right now.
Weird. Yeah, it is.
SkewMond able to pick up the dragon, and Labrov is now looking to yank top lane.
So they're still pulling a bit ahead in gold as Yappa finally no scatter.
Okay.
Flash over from Hansama. One more bomb. Dark Sphere. Comet doesn't connect.
Oh, but Yappa trying to chase
Still
him
going
down.
in. BrokenBlade, sidestep. Mickey moving in, mounted up on the horse, trying to take out his former top laner. Wunder getting chunked down. First blood, though. Wunder barely able to escape. LeBron can't make it out. Yappa kills Hansama. SK. We cast her curse G2. They turn it around.
Labrov might be dead as well. Skeanz is here, has the flash, has the cyclone.
Want to commit to the Leona. Eclipse.
They don't decide to go for 2 kills for SK as they win on both top and bot. Hansama tried to go for the outplay on Syndra, but didn't quite have the damage with Yopa flashing the phosphorus bomb.
Okay, meanwhile, falling not.
So
Cute going all in. Purgatory, domain expansion, dash in, get out! Oh, you love to see it, the weaves! Love every moment, but now the dog on the chase, and Slowkey probably just dead. 240 health healed up, not gonna be able to get back to pick up that soul, and SkewMond happy to just grab a kill in return.
Yopa flashed the phosphorus bomb. He's kind of cooked here, and then Yopa can walk around, and he has the faster lane, right? So now Hansama is pretty much always going to be dead here. Unless, but he has like 2 HP. Very close there.
So she just kind of gets to dance around you. And now Hansama is going to be in trouble once again. Mickey lining up, Shattering Strike connect this time into immediate scatter of the weak. Hansama can't even push his buttons. The exhaust is there, but they lack just that tiny bit of damage. SkewMond now coming over the wall. Mickey, a dead man walking. SkewMond waiting for an angle to throw down the ulti. It's just coming off cooldown. Is Mickey likely to die to the minions? He's channeling in with the Hex Flash. Quick stun to follow, but he will drop in the end. It looked like a picture perfect across the entire map. Slowkey using the Ritual Nails to go in. Now in melee range of Caps, though, definitely not ideal. Solar Flare going a little bit wide. The healing coming in from Slowkey. Forced to use his ulti. Exhaust is there too. Yappa trying to move in, but the burn damage, the Eclipse. Gonna finish him off. Not going to be able to grab that extra soul now, but Yappa hoping to finish up this kill. Pullback is there from Mickey, and Yappa grabs another. Caps hasn't been able to finish the Roa either. Trying to get tricky with it. Knocks into the wall. One Silver Bolt's nowhere to go. The point click ulti. The clone not enough to save him. It looks weird from BrokenBlade, right? Why is he going for that angle? But perfect coordination with his jungler makes it all come together.
And his damage was so much higher than I expected. It's not that they win the 2v2, but SkewMond jumps in on Skeanz.
Going on to Skeanz, immediately forces Cyclone. Now Hansama's going to jump in. This could be a lot of burst damage. Follow-up spin coming in from Skeanz. Turns invisible for a brief moment, but SkewMond is just going to go for the chase here. The pack called, flash in, daggers, smite to the side. The dog's now looking to chase a fall, but Skeanz still living for an extra moment. The shutdown is there. Yoppa! 3-0-0, having a hell of a game.
And SlowQ gets
Flash
the
in from BrokenBlade. Exhaust, a little bit extra shielding coming in. That's the lock of the Iron Solari from Mickey, but now it's Mickey himself who's in trouble. Crash down to stay living. Mega there just in time. G2 so close to getting that kill. Wunder still walking forward. Needs to connect onto BrokenBlade. Instead, they're going to focus on Labrov. Wallop is there. Looks like Labrov will just be sacrificed as the Gnar comes out from Wunder, and they're going to turn that play right around on G2.
And SK, they strike back with the top laner's fine. It's now SK able to potentially get the Drake here.
Keep in mind, G2 have already grabbed the Herald, already ahead in the grubs as well. So SK very much behind in the objective game, and with that Herald picked up, will be behind in gold, but at least they keep things even in terms of the Drakes.
Another Cloud.
Another Cloud Soul.
Who do we favor this game for the Cloud? I think pretty good for both.
It's pretty good for both.
Although Vayne with Cloud Soul is crazy.
Vayne, already pretty hard for any of these champions to get away from a Vayne. I think it's more, can you one-shot her, or will she run you down?
I think especially this game, since she doesn't have Ghost, as you sometimes run on main top, the Cloud Soul would be very nice on her.
And there's the charge. That's going to be the golden flux that G2 kind of earned previously by securing that first objective. A little turn to the side from SkewMond just to hit Wunder on his way to the tower. Doesn't do much, but
he works as a meta melee assassin. Oh. So SK are going for a dive on top.
Dog spotting him out. Forcing a flash as well as the W coming in. Skeanz on the top side of the fight, exhausted by BrokenBlade, but just the clone going to be auto-attacked as Mickey just continues to run. Ulti coming out from SkewMond on the chase. Massive damage. Reset is there, and Yoppa might be in trouble, but SlowQ ready to go over the wall. Purgatory picked up. Labrov looks like he might be first to fall. The exhaust still ticking. SlowQ taking down Labrov, grabbing another soul there from Purgatory.
Tumbles well, uses the invisibility from the ultimate. BrokenBlade can have a real montage in these fights, and he's certainly strong enough to do so as well, as G2 want to reclaim the territory here.
CC onto Skeanz. Aftershock proc for Labrov. Has to be careful not to step too far forward. BrokenBlade's going to find the angle. Immediate one-shot on Yoppa. Perfect use of the stealth as well as the Condemn. SlowQ now running for his life. Mickey hoping maybe to find the disengage. BrokenBlade keeps chasing forward. He will land the Shattering Strike, but SK already too much on the back foot. Flash back from BrokenBlade. Wunder had a flash of his own, but happy to just get that one for free.
BrokenBlade find the Condemn onto Yoppa to give them that dragon. He went a little bit too deep later and had to burn the flash, and we'll see if that will cost him in the later fights. But with that, it's going to be the dragon going over for G2 and no fight for SK.
Right. G2 are just going to out-damage them in the extended play, and it's so hard for SK to lock down these members of G2. You can see them pretty effortlessly just walking away, but Wunder free stacking on Labrov right now on the raid, forcing the G2 retreat. Solar Flare going a little bit wide, but Wunder losing some health in return. Dash in, flash in, and it's Caps now. He's been locked up, but it's BrokenBlade on the flank looking to lock up SlowQ. Mickey hoping for the interrupt. Double exhaust now traded back as Skeanz manages to take down Caps. Yoppa on the bottom side of the fight, getting pushed back by SkewMond, who's going to dash again over the wall to try and retreat. Hansama and BrokenBlade, double 80 carries, still standing. SlowQ, Wunder, Skeanz, a man advantage, but it's enough to win the fight. The nails coming through for SlowQ. The reset to take him out, a flash away, matched by Hansama as the double buffs allow him to...
doing so, Yoppa is now exposed to the Naafiri in the back lines, and that means that G2's backline can now go forwards. But we don't have time to talk about that. Mickey's caught,
another fight,
and he's dead.
Mickey caught, Mickey down, and you can see in that fight again, G2 beautifully taking Yoppa.
Odo said it really well, that it's kind of like a Katarina. Not in the sense that if you get one reset, the game is immediately won, but just that he needs to get that initial reset, because that's what allows him to have that mobility. Now Caps might be in trouble here.
Action, spin on the Caps. Purgatory already pulled out. Two members locked up, and now it's SkewMond who's in trouble. Reset is there, but they're going to back away as it's double TPs from G2. Double 80 carries joining the fray. Hansama and BrokenBlade will not let the push in the top lane, looking to knock down that tower. Overall, SK pretty content with that exchange. 1 for 1, and they get that tower.
Yeah, BrokenBlade wanted
rage again, let alone get that bar completely full. Crash down, out, has demounted. SkewMond on the flank. Solar Flare forcing the flash out of Yoppa. It's a slow burn of a fight. Both sides waiting for the perfect angle. SkewMond, good flank, jumps over the wall, grouping with the team. 50-50 territory. Skeanz dashing in, objective, getting lower, manages to grab it, and then his instant one-shot onto Labrov. Purgatory landing onto 2, but the chase not quite there. G2 don't want to risk overcommitting, but now BrokenBlade sees an angle, dashes in with the ulti. That they are. Look, 500 gold difference between these two teams, now tied on Drakes. A basically dead even game.
BrokenBlade has...
G2 don't have the luxury of scaling now. Dash in with the action pursuit from slowQ. He's going to be in trouble now. Burning, running away. The slow still taking on him, but Wunder trying to hold the line as best he can. Ulti goes onto the clone, it looks like, but it's an exhaust on the Opa, so the fall damage really isn't there. Mickey on the flank with absolutely no HP, but Wunder from downtown finds the ulti and exhaust. Not enough to stop him, but his Caps taking down everybody else. In the meantime, it's a double kill for Wunder, but not nearly enough to take the fight as G2 take down 4. I feel like the kid with 2 action figures where you just hit them together against each other. That's the moment I'm waiting for. And I get that this is
We've got some of that. I mean, that last fight was kind of like that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of that. But both sides are really just playing to the limits.
Well, G2 seem like they want to fulfill your wish. They've started off the Nash. Now SK need to try to find a way to enter.
But you can see it's pretty easy for G2 to just two-man this. Again, they have 3 people who can shred through a Nash. Solar Flare going wide, though, is big. He brought it up before. That's really the only reliable engagement. But flash over the wall from Caps. That's a damn good way to get that fight shifted in their favor. In the blink of an eye, the staring contest easily won. But now Mickey with the re-engage. slowQ waiting for the resets. Can he find another? Wunder waiting for the setup. Dash back in on the action pursuit, but slowQ just doesn't have the damage to finish it. Flashes over the wall, but he's burning down. SkewMond to get another. Wunder will take down Caps, but it costs him just about everything. SkewMond continuing to chase. Dash is away from the wall. It was close, but G2 take the fight. The SkewMond gets a triple.
And it was so close, but it's an ace for G2, and it's going to be the Nash for G2 as well. As I think SkewMond and Labrov should be able to just do all this with the Wolves tanking up the Nash. That feels like maybe that was the last opportunity that SK had in this series. And I thought when Mickey got this fantastic engage, I think if slowQ doesn't go into the Zonias here, maybe
holding on.
BrokenBlade barely got clipped by the stun there, so he's not able to have the damage to take down Wunder. As he is on a long flank here by Skeanz. He doesn't have the ultimate nor the exhaust. Has the flash though.
Flash. Good damage. Spinning on top of BrokenBlade. Flash away. Nice condemn backwards on the second cycle, but a flash in from Skeanz finishes the job. G2 at least break the bottom lane tier 2 tower, so the Baron push from G2 slowed. The gold lead still very heavily in their favor, but the impact of this Red Bull Baron power play going to be somewhat mitigated
Mickey?
unless...
They're on a ward, so Mickey knew. Just wants to waste their time and try to cancel some of the recalls from G2.
And it's still almost 3,000 in favor of G2, and more importantly, Soul Point. The next Cloud would give them that Cloud Soul, and SK absolutely cannot afford to let happen as that Solar Flare does connect. Wunder locked up. Immediate response now coming in. The Hound pursuit from SkewMond trying to chase, but Skeanz has found his way on top of Hansama, and this might just be enough to lock him out of the fight. Hansama already quickly retreating though. It's only Labrov to drop thus far. SK see an angle to get even more.
I think Wunder though is going to be really, really strong in these fights if he's able to time that Mega Narc transition well, but Caps is in trouble here.
Purgatory on a Caps. Nice backstep from slowQ, moving in with the Action Pursuit to try to finish the job. Caps buys a couple extra seconds, waits for the Purgatory to fall away at the very least, but that's a shutdown for slowQ.
That's a Caps dead for 60 seconds. There's no objective up and available, but SK can look to siege for the mid and the top tower at least. And if SK can find a fight here, this could be the end of the game. But G2, they know this. They don't want to give them that fight. They're just going to respect and drop both the mid and the top tower.
BrokenBlade trying to offer at least one pressure point for the side of G2 Esports. Recalling before staying around for another wave as he doesn't see anyone. So I think unaware that Caps is waiting in that brush. SK forced to group up like this as G2 just takes so much space. BrokenBlade continued to force, did use his ultimate as Mickey gets lower and lower. Dash in onto Hansama, 2 members locked up by the Cyclone. Yopa immediately ult, and that's a reset coming in for slowQ. He chases down Hansama, but an ulti responded to by SkewMond. He can't stick to the target, it's the death ball of SK. Caps looking for a way in, incredible backstep on the petrifying gaze from Skeanz. Keeps this fight alive as Wunder desperate to keep the engage going, but the triple carries on the side of G2 are still here, and it's SK to pick up a soul point of them. Forced to walk in, but it's SK who are split up. Yopa, who is isolated. This is very dangerous for the Syndra. Wunder fully stacking the Mega. Yopa coming over the wall, back to his team. Skeanz and Mickey hoping to find a play. G2 collapsing on Mickey, knowing that he is the big playmaking tool. Carries of G2 stepping forward, trying to take a bit of a space. Exhaust from Mickey. Mickey about to get taken down. Skeanz looking for a re-engage of his own. Nice backstep on the Solar Flare, but Mickey already forced out of the fight. Mickey already deleted. No Baron in sight. Skeanz forced into GA. SK crumbling. The collapse on the Mickey paying off beautifully for G2. And Skeanz about to fall. The coordination non-existent. BrokenBlade looking to make a quick montage as slowQ and Wunder are on the way out. But the Hound's pursuit is there. SkewMond on the chase. slowQ hoping desperately to get anything back. But all that's left
is one little Yordle and a Dream. A TP into the bottom lane as Wunder desperately tries to hold on, but even the wallop is not enough. G2 set to end it here.
G2, they found the fight. They got the ace. Caps can TP in the bot lane, and he's going to finish it up. The death timers are too long for them to be able to hold on. And it was SK. They didn't quite have the damage to finish the Nash. They didn't have the greatest turn. And G2 could kite them out, take down Mickey. Mickey's up in 2 seconds, but the rest of the carries are still dead for 20. G2 should be able to just finish this game nice and clean.
Simply too far away. One terrible fight for G2 into a nearly perfect one, as SK did not get another opportunity to use that combo. It's a full-on fountain dive. Farewell to arms for a former brother as G2 cleaned this one up nicely. 2-0 in the series versus SK, moving up to 3-1.